Patch, plan on having any design contest for weapons and armor? Might be a fun thing to do. It's not something we discussed right now, up to now, but certainly could be fun. It says, yes, you got it. You're welcome. Will warriors have to choose a specialization? No, I mean, you can choose a specialization essentially by choosing a path. You can't master all paths. That is a non-starter. That is non-optional. It's not going to happen. We've said very clearly, also, even before the Kickstarter, that people can't master everything. And so that isn't going to change. Will there be a female Drengr? Well, it's a class. So do you mean are any of our classes or races gender locked right now? No, the answer is so far, no. Is it something we have considered, like for the Valkyries? Yeah, we've considered it. Nothing is, gender locked though yet. McCavity, would we ever consider player-created cosmetic items for submission into an in-game store? And so that's definitely a two-edged sword. When you say an in-game store, if you mean are we going to cash shop it, well, you guys know what my reaction to making this game heavily cash shop based would be. But in terms of submitting, McCavity, sorry, it was Amber. Sorry, McCavity, it scrolled. Sorry, Amber. Yeah, I caught it before you said it. Yeah, my bad. It scrolled quickly, okay? I've been doing this now for 45 minutes. So Amber, would we allow people to, though, give us items that we could use within the game? Yeah, absolutely. We're not too proud to accept help, but we just, again, you know how I feel about cash shops. Will changing weapon types and/or armor types often penalize a character's progression from Peach in any way? If you mean by penalize, it will slow you down. Well, of course, it'll slow you down because you have worked on your other skills, and so now you're starting with a new weapon. But that's the most obvious one. Could it penalize you at the top if you have mastered one path? And now you want to master another path? Yes, it would kind of penalize you there. So did that answer the question? I'm not sure it did. If it didn't, please ask again. Can we have a PDF with no watermark? I'll put a lighter one on the forums for you guys if that's what you really want. It's not a big deal. But obviously can't do it now. Going back to the cash shop item, do I think cash shops ruin games, but what they sell are best kept vanity? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I've said this before, that cash shops that are selling cosmetic items, especially in a game that's a buy-to-play game like a Guild Wars 2 or free-to-play games, I have no problem with them. In a subscription game like ours, I certainly do not believe we should have a lot of cash shop items. That's why you're paying a subscription price. There are some things like character transfer and other things that we may have a fee for, but building out a huge cash shop at the same time you're asking people for a subscription, that's not the road we're going down. Rhaegar, for a weapon to be a death metal weapon, does it have to start out as one or can it be reforged into one? Haven't really thought about that yet. My guess would be it would have to start off as one because we would love you to get into that better metal earlier rather than later, but we'll see. For those of you who have been in chat from the beginning, if you see questions that have been already answered, as always, I'd appreciate it if you answer them. That way people don't think, I'm ignoring them. In terms of Amber, oh, don't worry about it. Not the least bit angry. I don't think anyone, hopefully nobody is. It's all good. And I didn't think you were trying to turn us into a cash shop game. I know you know better. So no worries. Okay, from Tesseract, will you be capping weapons in terms of progression on a daily basis? No, we haven't talked about that yet or anything like that. So, not much of an answer, I know. Tricon, will there be some possible interaction between warrior weapons and casters? Oh my God, absolutely. I've already talked about that. Not in this one, but I thought during the BSC and afterwards. In a perfect world, if you have a fireball spell coming in from mages, I would love to have archers who be able to fire certain arrows to try to disrupt that fireball, as well as potentially the warriors throwing shields or other things. No, that's the whole point of the interaction system of air, is that these things can interact with each other. So that is absolutely part of the game plan. Thank you, Alex. That was perfect. Thank you very much. Actually, how difficult will it be to recover a spear? Well, if it's taken by somebody else, it'd probably be quite difficult. But don't worry about that yet. It's not something that we want to have be a huge part of the experience for these classes and these paths that have thrown weapons. But it is something that has to be a bit of a risk. Sacric's great question on craft the paths. That has not been discussed yet. I would assume that we will follow a similar pattern. It's what I've thought about, but we haven't discussed it yet. Can you block shields as block spells and whatnot with shields? That's part of the plan. That if we can pull, if air, it can be the system we want it to be, yeah, why not? You're having a physical object, which is a fireball, that is interacting with another physical object. And should it matter if it's a piece of stone or a shield? Oh, JK, nice try. Awesome try. Okay, you win the chat channel for today. Well played. Red Galaxy, I can't wait to see the craft to stream. Me too. Noise, it's not going to be unlimited block with it like ESO. Yeah, I have to feign, not even feign, admit ignorance on exactly how ESO's system works. So, sorry, got to skip that. It's a good question. I just don't know exactly how it works in ESO. If I'm wearing the heaviest armor, how can I speed up my movement speed to keep up with others? Well, it's a good thing we talked about having a speed class. Rhaegar, could you use a non-bound weapon to do the flying attack? In theory, yes. Keep in mind, guys, I never said you had to throw your bound item only. So, and by the way, also keep in mind that having a bound item, especially if it is a powerful bound binding, less likely that you're going to lose the item. Cruised. Why Forseti for the axe spec? Mainly because there aren't great, I mean, based on the research I've done, not a lot of named axes or powerful axes in Viking lore and mythology, unlike, you know, Mjolnir or Grungir or other items. So right now it's just Forseti. I am certainly open to other things. Okay, we are 4 minutes to go. We're going to wrap this up at 1:30. After that, I am going to be doing some forum patrol. I'll also be on the sites that I have done or should be, I haven't looked, releasing stories about us, about this announcement, including our good friends at Massively, MMORPG, and Keen and Grave. So if you want more information, make sure you go again to Massively and MMORPG and to Keen and Grave, because they all ask different questions. And so you'll see some responses I made to their questions. And like I said, I am going to be doing some, you know, certainly forum patrol from 1:30 to 2 or around 2. And then I'm going to take lunch and a little bit of downtime, but then I'll be back in the afternoon. So, you know, when you have, which I am sure you will, have more questions, forums, or those sites, you'll find me lurking about. Will there be a possibility of paths adding to the available Bane and boons? Possibility, absolutely. Jasper, can you throw a weapon to an ally? Jesus, never thought about that. That's kind of a cool idea. It's also very logical, and you see it in movies all the time. Bow wow, Graham, glad you thought it was interesting. I think it's interesting too. All right, so it is now that time where I'm going to look for one awesome question. And after that, I will do my thank yous and goodbye for now. Oh, JK, you're really going for a double, aren't you? You already, you know, won the chat. Now you're going for the double. This isn't the awesome question, but it's one that I should answer. Are any more holiday presents planned? Any reveals between now and the end of the year? No. I don't want anyone thinking, honestly. I don't want anyone thinking, oh, we're going to do something and we're going to surprise you and then you'll be disappointed. No, we're not going to do that. What we're hoping to do, again, is a PAT test on Friday, and if not, next week.